Welcome back, everybody. The Ruckus Crawler here, aka the Rollin' Stoner, and I got you back on the workbench yet again with another video about the Killa Bee yet again, because it is my favorite rig and we are getting close to completion of this build, and I had a couple of exciting mods that I would like to share with everybody this week. As you can see here in the corner, there's a big old sticky Mickey sticking out. The Capra yet again is broken down. It was funny, I was watching another YouTuber and he was saying he only runs 2s in his 10s because he finds that he breaks too many parts when he's running 3s. I did a brushless engine and 3s, and I break parts almost every time I go out, so I am understanding that, but at the same time loving the power I get from that system. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today is about the Killa Bee, my absolute favorite rig. It's so close to being done. Only 2 things left here are the chassis, which I do have one ordered, and unfortunately the last thing will be the transmission skid plate. I did get one from Little Guy Racing Parts and unfortunately broke a screw off right inside the thing when I was installing it, so I had to put it aside and put the stock one back on. So if anybody knows what drill bit I should use in my Dremel to drill that little screw out without making the hole too big to use, please let me know in the comments below, because I would love to get that thing going. But without further ado, let's get on with about what mods we got going on this time. So first and foremost, the 3Flow9 ball bearing steering links. These things are just too cool. I've been loving them. They look great and they work great. These things turn, they spin. And I also got his axle cover with the little plate here that just, if you hit that, it leads you right into the bearings and then up and over you go. The little bit of testing I have been able to do on this thing has been very impressive, so I'm looking forward to getting way more use out of those. And if you can see here, coming off the front of the Killa Bee, we got this little fishing hook, because we got the cheapest, easiest mod that I am going to show you all here as well. Let's open this up. Other little mods we got going on this week is, before I ordered the chassis that I've been waiting for so long, I actually got the Mofo shock adjusters. These things are pretty cool. So far, I'm really liking the front ones. The rears, it's not that I don't like them, it's just with the suspension up on those, I find with these huge Swamp Kings, I'm rubbing a little bit more. Where before, I did actually just have the suspension right on the frame, and it worked really well. So I would maybe just go back to that, but like I said, we are going to be doing a full chassis swap on this thing sooner than later, so I think I'm just going to leave it as is. When I do the chassis swap, then these can go over to either the C10 or the Bronco. And another one we got, something you can't really see, is inside my axle. I finally got the Mofo overdrive gears, which, yeah, a little bit of driving and testing I've done, I have just been loving them. So we're going to take you all out into the garden to get some testing done, but before we do that, yeah, let's just show you this little winch mod that I made here. I'm not going to take credit for it. I seen another YouTuber do it, and I was just like, damn, that's such a good idea. I have to do it too. And now I love it. I've been sharing with everybody. So I got this from the gas station. They call it a lighter leash. It came with kind of this metal thing on there so you can hook it onto your keychain, and then this plastic thing on here so you can put your lighter on there, and it's attached to a string. So easy peasy. Rip that thing off, and you're left with this little guy. And I have to say, the tension on the thing is crazy. So all I did was use some double-sided tape and stuck it onto my rock sliders. But to be honest, I don't even actually have it handy. In the Bronco, I just have it free floating because you can secure it to places like up under here somewhere, but I find when your servo pushes up when you're crawling that it kind of binds up, so I didn't actually attach it in the Bronco, just so when the servo goes up through the frame rails, it's not inhibiting it. It still has all the flex and everything. And yeah, I just added this little fish hook on here. Here, let's stretch it out. get it onto the Capra. Look at that, you can see in the corner of the screen there, the Capra is wiggling. And as you'll see out in the garden, this thing actually pulls pretty good. So if you're high centered and stuck, clearly it's not going to pull you off of it because it's not a motorized winch. It's just a drawback string. But I mean, if you need to get up and over something you wouldn't normally be able to get up and over, that thing is magical. I've been frustrated with the Bronco so many times, and now the Bronco is actually capable because we can winch over stuff. So let's end my rambling on the workbench here, and let's take you all outside to see this beautiful 3Flow9 steering links in action. And of course, again, you can't see them, but they're in there. The Mofo overdrive gears are installed. The front wheels spin quite a bit faster. And yeah, let's just get outside and play around and see what we can challenge the Killabee with. Come back, everybody, to the garden of wheeling. I have a setup here first for the first test of the new upgrades, because if y'all watched my review on the Swamp Kings, you'll remember that with the extra height that these tires were offering, it was making it so I just couldn't quite get up and over this obstacle here. So now I'm hoping, with the suspension now readjusted and the overdrive gears now pulling that front end a little bit more, that maybe we can make it. So let's find out. We are getting up to the part here where we're gonna make this corner and things are gonna get a lot steeper. So let's keep it going. Having some traction issues here. Oh, but we are making it. Damn, there we go, up and over. So let's just see. I haven't actually attempted this yet. Let's just turn this rig around and see if we can make it back down this obstacle. Because as much as I love driving up and over stuff, going back, oh, and we tumble. Big tumble. All right, so I just wanted to point something out. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos of people doing reviews of, you know, different tire setups, different suspension setups, all kinds of stuff. And I'm not saying that they do it on purpose, but I've noticed a lot of times where they do a review and then they're trying to take the same line with different setups. And when you're watching it, you're thinking, I don't know, it's not quite the same line. So when I didn't make this last time, I was cutting it very sharp like this and kind of going up and over this rock here in the center. And that was causing me to hit kind of the steeper part of this last big rock here before we get to the dirt. And that's what I think was causing me right here where the tire drops. Yeah, see, we're about to tip. And that's because it's just a totally different line. But right now when we made it, I took it further to the left and it was just a lot easier to catch the corner of the rock and make it. But look at that, as I'm talking about how I can't make this line, I just slowed it right down to an ASMR style crawl. And oh, I might have spoke too soon. It's trying to come back on us, but oh, damn, this is getting dramatic. I don't know, I think we lost it there. For a second, I actually thought we were gonna make it at a slow crawl, and now it feels like no matter what I do, the Killabee's tumbling. Oh, and there we go. So like I was saying, it's not always easy to take the exact same lines, but it's just like the slightest change in your line can honestly make the world of difference, whether you're avoiding a spot where your tire dips or you're hooking up to a spot where you weren't previously getting that traction. So it's just a funny one. When you take a line and you don't make it, try not to get discouraged, because chances are with just the slightest adjustment, you'll be able to make it that next time you try it. So let's try and get up and over this part here. So this one's a little steeper, a little more narrow. You gotta kind of go over the edge here. Ooh, it feels like we're just a little too close to that edge there. Let's readjust. See if that overdrive can help pull us up and over here. Now I'm getting hung up. Oh, now we're right over the edge. Are we gonna be able to save it? No, that's gonna be another flip. Another flip. All right, so we were able to make it up and over the center part of this obstacle. So let's just try this again. And we are just gonna hug the edge of this rock that we're now on and try to keep it going up over the left here. And this one here is just, it's such a tricky little rock to get on. If you can do it, man, is it satisfying to crawl up this little ledge here. Getting some nice flex out of our rig, getting the rear tire off the ground. I haven't done this a bunch of times now. I've done it a couple of times, so I know it is possible, but I haven't done it enough times where it's like, oh yeah, easy peasy. But here we go. Ooh, we're losing traction. Give it a little more power, and wow, there we go, up and over. So I'm sure the suspension readjustment's helping a bit, but to be perfectly honest, it's that overdrive gears that are just pulling that front end so much nicer. It's just giving us that little bit more bite that we need. So let's turn this off, set the tripod up, and let's go up and over the Rockness monster. So here we are, just still at the same spot at the top of that first obstacle. Now crawling up and into the Rockness monster. So I know I've been focusing more here on the overdrive gears and the suspension links, because those are kind of the things that are gonna be used more, I mean constantly as you're driving. But I don't want to put it past that 3Flow9 steering link is just amazing. Unfortunately with my rig, with these huge tires, it's not as necessary as like a lower kind of center of gravity rig, so I'm gonna try and find some spots where we can put it to the test. But to be honest, I have so much clearance, it's not very often that I actually do drag my steering links, but we'll find something in here that we can slide up and over. But again, those overdrive gears up front are just grabbing. They're just grabbing and pulling the rear end up and over just so smoothly. I've been putting off getting them for a while now just because there's always something else I want to get. And I mean, I'm just so happy I have them now. So here we're about to go down the other side of the Rockness monster and out of shot. So let's just stop it here and readjust and keep going. All right, so here we are continuing down the other side of the Rockness monster. Easy peasy, as expected. Let's just adjust this a little bit to make it up and over this one, which I still haven't given a crazy name yet. I gotta come up with something funny for this one because it's classically been one of the more difficult obstacles I've made here. But I'm having a feeling with these overdrive gears that we are just gonna get up and over it like it's just another walk in the park. Walk in the garden. So normally I gotta hug the left side, but right now we're just gonna try and go up and over the center of it a little bit more. Let's really put these gears to the test. And oh my god, look at that. We haven't made it yet. Don't count your chickens until the eggs are hatched. But so far, I mean, look at that. Wow. If we could just get that front tire on the next rock, I think we'll have the traction we need to pull the rear. Ooh, so close to that edge though. On the passenger side, you can't go too far over. We're gonna have to try it though. So now the passenger front wheel is in a free float. We're flying. Let's see if we can just, adjust it, and we slid back down. But look at that, a little bit of wheel speed, and we were able to just climb right up that. So out of all my time in the garden, I've done this obstacle a few times, but I don't think I have ever taken it straight up that middle rock like that. That is damn impressive. And up here we have a pretty tall ledge, a tall ledge that often we have flipped over. So again, the overdrives, and I think this is where our suspension readjustments are coming into play here to help us not flip, and up and over we go. This is just too cool, guys and gals, if you're watching. All right, so here we go, just continuing straight from where we left off. There is that rock here in the middle of the shot. I don't know if we're really going to see it at this angle, but let's see if I can slide these steering links up and over this rock right here in front of us. Oh, unfortunately the bumper's getting hung up because it's such a steep rock. And like I was saying, again, with the huge Swamp King tires, the steering link actually didn't even get close to the rock there. So that one we're gonna have to, I don't know, I'm gonna have to play around out here. I'll find something where we can get a good test of these links. So yeah, here we are getting to the top of the poop chute. I actually just kicked the truck up so we can get this nice shot of it coming up and over the rock here. Taking a funny line, almost tipping, putting that suspension right to its limits of flex. Nice and easily, slow and steadily, coming over. Here we go, top of the poop chute. Here we come. That's funny too, I might have to readjust this one. When I first made this little incline here with the stock rig, it kind of struggled on it. It actually struggled a little bit. But now with the Killa B in all of its glory, that's just nothing. I mean, I guess most of the stuff really is just nothing now. I've done it so many times, and the rig is just so built. It just eats up all the competition. And by competition, I mean obstacles. All right, so here we go. We're just gonna continue on from where we left off. And let's see how we can get up and over this thing. Are we gonna get it? Again, that bumper just seems to stick out far enough where you can't get onto those 3Flow9 links. It just, you either hang up on the bumper or you got enough clearance, unfortunately, with this setup. And boom, up and over. Up and over. All right, so yeah, let's just make our way over the connector back to what is just the landing, the second part above the first gatekeeper, because we got a nice little rock in there that's an obstacle that I've never been able to make it over on my own. So I'm hoping with our little winch we got going on now, we can get some winching in and get that a test going. And then in this section too, I should be able to find something to get that 3Flow9 ball bearing link going. So right in the middle of this shot here is this big gnarly rock. And I don't even know, can we even get up? Can we get part of it even on here? Just straight up the front of it? Here we go. So that's pretty good. See, we're up on it, but we're already at our tipping point. So give me a second here, put that down. Let's get our trusty winch stretched out. And now let's see if we can winch ourselves up and over. Come on, little winch. Come on, little winch. Oof. I mean, this is a pretty gnarly rock right here. And there it goes, up and over. So as I was saying, this thing is not mechanized. It's just a string that snaps back, but it gives you exactly what you need to make you not flip over stuff like that. And look at that, when you drive up to it, boom, snaps right back into place and you can continue on. So let's get reset up and see what else we could play around with in here. Okay, we actually didn't go anywhere. I just realized here, right to the right of the rock we just winched over, is one of those obstacles. I've had it in previous videos. I've done it a couple of times, but it's so difficult to do. I figured, let's give it a try now with these overdrive gears. And look at us go. Look at us go. Damn. It's like I say, it's not like this one's impossible. I have done it a couple of times, but I flipped on it more times than not. And I was flipping on it pretty easily with the size of these Swamp Kings, but overdrive gears up front, suspension relocation, and this thing is just incredible. I mean, it was already such a capable rig, and these overdrive gears have just taken it to that next level. So yeah, wow, am I ever just happy with these? This is another spot I had to set up at because I have, in recent times, both on camera and off camera, have been having difficulties with this spot here. Not that I'm crawling up right now, but as you'll see as I get higher up to the top of these rocks here to the right, I don't know what to say. There's this obstacle. It's one of the first difficult obstacles I made way back when the rig wasn't even actually that modified. And it was hard, but I was able to do it. And in recent times, yeah, both on camera and off camera, I fucked around with this obstacle and I have not been able to get over it. So I don't know, have I lifted the truck too much with its big tires and bigger suspensions and now I just can't make it over? Or is it the opposite with the suspension? I've actually kind of lowered the suspension a bit recently. So do I just not have the clearance and now I'm hanging up? Or have the rocks themselves shifted because I made this obstacle back in the wintertime and we got some pretty torrential rainfall in the spring? It's hard to say. But now, with the suspension yet again readjusted, and with these overdrive gears, let's see if we can make it up and over this part here. And I figure if not, we might be able to winch it. But at the same time, I'm not too sure because again, it's not a motorized winch. It's not made with a servo or something like that. So if you high center, you're high centered. There ain't much that little winch can do. It more just helps you from not tipping over. But oh, look at that. So there we go. Again, it's hard to say. Like, was that line impossible before? And now with the overdrive, it was able to just walk over it? Or did I just not hit it right at that perfect angle? So last time I tried it, all I did was just tip backwards. All I know is the last few times I've tried it, I've failed miserably. And that time we just did it smoothly. Oh, I wish that was smoothly. No. Oh, we're breaking something. Oh, we're out of it. Woo! So not very smooth, but we did it. And okay, while we're still here and I'm still rambling, as you can see, this guy here, I've mentioned in the past too, was one of those rocks that as a more stock rig with a lower center of gravity, I went right over it. And then when I put the scramblers on and bigger suspension, I was starting to have issues with it. Ooh, just like that. So that was over to the left-hand side of it. I want to try to make it more over the center of that rock. I think we should be able to do it. Let's just give it another go here. Yeah, here we go. Oh, we're sliding off of it though. Yeah, look at that. I don't know. It's a tricky one. So this is one of those rocks. It's like a river rock. And they're slick. Even when they're dry, they are slick. And I got myself pinched in here now. So let's just bypass that for now. Let's see, can we just do a little loop around? Woo! Ooh, you can just hear too. So those Swamp Kings being such a big gnarly tire, I am actually getting some body rub on them. So I think it might be time to finally get some of those hex extensions and try to extend the wheels out a bit that way. That way I can just avoid some of that rub. And there we go, up and over like nothing. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Ooh, that rock, I just moved it. Might actually be something we can hook this steering link up on. Yeah, you can't really see it on camera, I'm sure, from this distance. Let's see, can we get a little zoom in action? Yeah, you're probably not gonna be able to see it too much. Oh, now the tripod's off kilter. Gee Louise. Holy jeez, Rick. Oh, now we're just on an angle too. Oh, look at that. It pushes the rock, but slides up onto it. And now we're just at a bad angle. Let's come back at it here. Boom. Oh, that rock is moving. It's not secure anymore. But yeah, that skid plate for sure is just sliding. Just sliding. And we're tumbling. Tumbling. Another one of my favorite obstacles here on this side of the course. It's got this nice little ramp to go up, no problem, but then right into a little step, and then immediately before you even cleared this one, you have another step to get up. Can we do it? A little bit of difficulty, but not too bad. And then a couple lines you can choose up here to get up and over the edge of the course. Let's see, can we make it back down? Ooh. Oh, and give it some gusto and away you go. So yeah, not too frickin' shabby. I mean, I already just frickin' love my Killabee, but now with the overdrive gears, the suspension readjustment, and like I say, not always needed when you have such a big tired rig, but there is situations, even with the Killabee, where that 3Flow9 ball bearing steering link just makes you roll right over what's holding you up. And then your overdrive gears just helps you just roll right with it. So yeah, wow, I'm pretty happy right now. So here we are at another winching point. Dun, dun, dun. So this is a pretty steep incline here. Only thing I have that can make it up this part is my Capra, because, well, it's 10 scale, so it's a lot freaking bigger. But the Killabee, let's see if we can get it up on here. You can get up to about here, and then you'll see we start to lose traction, and if you give it more speed, you will inevitably flip. So again, stretch our trusty winch up top here. Oh, losing it. That's the thing about these winches. I just got a fish hook in here, and fish hooks don't really hook onto rock very well. So I might hook up some little winch points on the course, but let's see if it holds. It should give us the edge we need to make it over this ledge. And here we go. Boom, look at that. Winched it. And again, you get to the top there, the winch just snaps right back and away you go. So that's a pretty good test there. Okay, if you can see it there, that little ledge at the bottom right of the shot, that's the ledge we just winched up and over. The Killabee is just out of shot here because this is a very extreme climb. So let's see if we can get up on here high enough. Here we go, coming into shot. Come on there, little Killabee. See how far we can ride this little crack that we're riding here. We're like a rock climber here, just riding that crack through here. Ooh, okay, so we're right at our tipping point there. So let's see if we can winch up here. All right. This is a gnarly one. Okay, so we're secured into some moss here, and let's see if we can make it up. This is basically a sheer face, a sheer cliff face on the scale side of things. We are definitely rock climbing. We are not wheeling at this point in time. Rear tires kind of caught up on that lump of moss there. Oh, look at that, a little readjustment, a little back up, and it just shifted the whole vehicle over. Are we gonna be able to make it? We're full on wheeling. We're full on two wheels here. Come on, little Killabee. You can do it. Here, if we turn to the left, we can maybe hook our driver's tire onto the edge. Can we do it? Can we do it? Hold on, winch. Oh, tipped it. Can we save it though? Oh, look at that. We saved it. Game on. Ain't over yet. Oof. The gnarliness. The unrealism of this scale of this winch. We can do it. I have faith. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Oh. It feels like to the left there was kind of our best shot. If I could hook a tire onto that ledge. Boom. There we go. Look at that. Oh, running over the winch line though. It's caught up on some moss. Snapped back out though. And up and over. So I mean, goddamn. And the winch is too much into the moss to unhook it. Oh, there we go. And it unhooked itself. So see ya. Way you go. So yeah, for a very inexpensive mod, I went to a gas station. They called it a lighter leash. So you could just put your lighter on it, lend it to somebody, and they can't walk off with your lighter. I mean, what a cool little mod that winch is. And here, let's get a little zoom in. 3Flow9, if you guys are watching this, I'm really sorry that I haven't been able to showcase that beautiful steering link you have there. But I do recommend it to anybody, especially if you're running more of a scale rig on smaller tires. You'll find need for it. I have used it a few times. It's just the spots in my course that I can hook up on it are in really tight locations that I can't really get my camera. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to test that too much for you guys. But let me know in the comments below. What mods would you like to see happen to the Killa Bee? We got one more big one coming up. I don't want to say what it is, but there's a pretty big one I'm hoping to do for next weekend. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, just let me know in the comments below. What mods do you think I should do? What mods have you done? What are your favorite mods? What are your least favorite mods? I'm interested in all these things. So until next time, please have yourself a great day. Be good to yourself and one another. And hope to see you on the next one. Until then, see ya!